Have you ever been in a conversation where someone casually said, spill the beans or bite the bullet, and you had no idea what they meant? Don't worry, you're not alone. American English is filled with these colorful phrases called idioms, and they can be tricky for learners because their meanings aren't always clear from the words themselves. But here's the secret. Mastering idioms is like unlocking the code to sounding natural, confident, and truly fluent. They're more than just words. They're pieces of culture, history, and humor, all wrapped into language. In today's episode, we're going to break down the world of idioms. We'll explore what idioms really are, where they come from, and why Americans love using them so much. You'll not only learn the meaning of common phrases, but also uncover the fascinating stories behind them. By the end, you'll have the tools to add idioms naturally into your own conversations and sound just like a native speaker. Idioms are one of the most fascinating parts of any language, and American English is no exception. Unlike ordinary words where the meaning is clear, idioms are phrases whose meaning cannot be guessed simply by looking at the individual words. For example, when someone says, under the weather, they don't mean literally standing below the clouds. It means feeling sick. This is what makes idioms so challenging yet so powerful for learners. Idioms are everywhere in daily conversations, from casual chats to business meetings. They act like shortcuts for communication, adding flavor, humor, and depth to what people are saying. More importantly, they are cultural expressions. Every idiom carries with it a small piece of American history or way of thinking. When you start using idioms naturally, it's like you've been given the password to join in on the inside jokes of the culture. Think of idioms as more than just vocabulary. They're keys that open the door to not only fluency, but also cultural understanding. Once you learn them, conversations that once seemed confusing will suddenly become clear, and you'll be able to express yourself with far more nuance. One of the most enjoyable parts of learning idioms is discovering where they actually come from. Take the phrase break a leg, for example. At first, it sounds like someone is wishing you harm, but in fact, it comes from theater tradition. Actors believed it was bad luck to directly wish someone good luck, so they said the opposite. Over time, break a leg became a way to wish performers success on stage. Another classic is raining cats and dogs. While no one really believes animals are falling from the sky, the phrase has roots in old European folklore, where heavy storms would wash animals into the streets, making it look as if they had fallen from the sky. Similarly, a skeleton in the closet comes from the 19th century, referring to dark secrets hidden away, much like a body would be concealed in a cupboard. These stories not only make idioms easier to remember, but they also give us fascinating glimpses into the culture and history behind American English. When you know the origin, the idiom becomes more than just a phrase. It becomes a piece of storytelling you carry into every conversation. Now that we've explored the meaning and history behind idioms, let's look at some practical examples you'll hear almost every day in American English. Take hit the road. This doesn't mean physically striking the street. It means to leave or start a journey. For example, it's getting late. I think it's time to hit the road. Simple, casual, and very commonly used. Next is call it a day. People use this when they decide to stop working or wrap something up. Imagine you've been studying for hours, and your friend says, let's call it a day. It's a natural way to signal that it's time to rest. Another useful one is cut corners. At first, it may sound like someone is literally trimming shapes, but it actually means doing something in the easiest, cheapest, or fastest way, often sacrificing quality. For example, the company cut corners on safety measures, and it caused big problems. The best way to master idioms is not just to memorize them, but to practice using them in context. Try slipping one or two into your conversations each day. Over time, they'll flow naturally and your English will sound more fluent and confident. Now it's your turn. Let's make learning idioms interactive. I'll share a few common American idioms, and your challenge is to guess their meaning before I reveal the answer. Here's the first one. The ball is in your court. What do you think it means? In reality, it comes from tennis and basketball. It means the decision or responsibility is now yours. How about burning the midnight oil? It doesn't mean setting fire to oil. It refers to working late into the night, back when people used oil lamps to keep studying or writing. And here's a fun one. Let the cat out of the bag. Sounds strange, right? Originally, it referred to market scams where a farmer would sell a pig in a sack, but when opened, there was actually a cat inside. Today, it means to reveal a secret, often by accident. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Share your favorite American idiom in the comments below, or tell us which one from today's episode you'll start using. And don't forget, practice is the real key to fluency. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to master American English with us.